So the question that was asked is what happens when a person sleeps and when they wake up in the morning, and then it's important for all of humanity to say the recognition, the prayer in the morning of the gift of being awake, called Moidani Lefanecha. I recognize, I thank, I'm appreciative before you, the King that's living and exists, that you return my soul in with kindness, and you're very trustworthy that you do it every night. Rabba Munasecha. This is in the beginning of the prayer books, of a regular prayer book. You open up a prayer book, it's right at the beginning. Now, what happens? So at nighttime, the soul gets recharged. And in order to get recharged, the thoughts of the mundane thoughts of the day are a blockage. It's like you have a socket, and the socket is dirty. You have to clean the connections before you can power. It's like you had dust. And that's basically the thought, speech, and action of mundane thought, speech, action of the day. So what the angel does is it shakes the soul, and the thought, speech, and action of the day gets shaken off. But as it shakes off, it's not in an organized fashion. It's a haphazard, and this becomes a person's dream. So a person's dreaming is a cleaning process of the brain. I mean, I heard that the cells of the brain become a third the size, so the subdural fluid around the brain, which in Hebrew is called the kayach hamaskel, will be able to seep through like a river and clean out the debris from the brain cells. And it takes the pre-inculus like a self-cleaving oven. It takes 5 hours, 6 hours. It takes a certain amount of time. So to do the cleaning cycle of the brain, it takes time. But there's also a spiritual cleaning cycle of that the soul gets shaken off. And these are the dreams. The dreams are part of the cleaning cycle. And you only dream about what you thought of during the day, but the order is haphazard and not necessarily, most likely has no meaning. Sometimes in rare cases it has meaning, especially if you dream something inspiring and something good. So maybe that has meaning and act on it. But otherwise, don't treat dreams seriously. That's what the Talmud says. And so that's the cleaning process. And now the soul gets recharged and renewed. And that's why a person has new energy in the morning and ready to face the day if they slept properly. It's important to make sure you're not tossing and turning through the night, that you're actually sleeping through the night. So the cleaning process happens, both the physical cleaning process and the spiritual cleaning process. And that is my summary of why we have dreams and why we need this cleaning process. What happens to our soul? It gets connected. And by the way, everything that you did that day, you have to, there's basically a record when you're sleeping, a record of everything you did that day gets given to you, and you have to sign that you did this, and you stamp it. And then after a person dies, and all these documents, records of every single day a person was alive, gets presented to the person. And when the person, he said, well, how come you did this? So he said, I don't remember doing this. And they show him the record. This is your signature. You did it. You can't deny it. And he said, oh, yeah, right. That's my signature. I signed this. I did this. So that's what happens every night. A person signs the paper of everything they did that day. They could have, afterwards, they could erase it if they do tshuva and ask God to erase it and help me go on a better path. I want to improve myself. So then it's not brought up. But if a person left unfinished business, like they owe money to people and they didn't pay back, whatever, left unfinished business, so all that unfinished business gets brought up again, and it's everything signed, clerks, it's all written up, and that's another thing that a person has to deal with. What happens when the person's sleeping? Everything you did that day gets looked over. But another interesting thing that happens is that now when your soul is cleaned, if you put effort into studying a new skill, studying special Torah, put a lot of effort into it, you get helped. You enter into that chamber where they study that subject in heaven. And since you put so much effort during the day, they recognize that and they help you out. So you actually study at night. So in the morning, you may know an answer which you didn't know the day before. You know, there's an English saying, we're going to sleep on it. Well, why do people say we're going to sleep on it? It's because they put effort one day. At nighttime, they get access to the chamber of that study hall in heaven. And while studying up there, the solution to their dilemma maybe was given to them. So in the morning, they slept on it. They know what to do. So sleeping is not necessarily a waste of time if you are using your hours properly. The sleep will compound your effort. In other words, you're going to be able to attain things that you couldn't attain through your own study because you put effort during the day. Your effort was recognized and you were permitted to enter that study chamber in heaven. So you come back in the morning and like somehow you know more. Somehow you've integrated the subject better. Sometimes it has become part of you. And it's really beyond your abilities. So that's really fascinating what sleep does. And now we have a lot of wonderful things happening. We have the physical cleaning of the brain, the debris gets cleaned. We have the cleaning of the soul. We have the recharging of the soul. And we have the secrets of the subject matter getting revealed to you. Now you have, and you also are energized for a new day. So for sure, there is what to be thankful for and what to recognize, and to recognize that you have a mission, that every single day is significant, and you have a mission on this earth, and you now have your energy back. You now will recognize and give yourself over to that mission, even before saying, I recognize before you that you returned my soul, Melech V'Kayam, King that's eternal and gives life, that you have returned my soul with kindness, even though I don't deserve. It's a free gift. Appreciate every day of life like a free gift. Braba Munasecha, and your faithfulness is great. It's great that he turns my soul. It's not like, the soul goes for the cleaning and he gets returned to a different body. I mean, that wouldn't be great. You return my soul to inside my body, and that is another thing to recognize. And all these things, these things apply to all of humanity. And we are very fortunate as humans to be given this kind and great gift. So look into the Hebrew Siddur, the prayer book, and look right at the beginning, and you're going to find this prayer for what you say right away when you wake up.